What's up guys? So today I want to tell you about a little project that I've been working on now. This kind of came about because I am in college now, as some of you know, and I don't really have access to all of my stuff. So the other day I really wanted to play Rock Band on my Mac, which I have a Frets on Fire game. It's an open source Rock Band, Guitar Hero type game that's free and you can download it. I'll actually get to that towards the end of the video and how you can get it. But basically I wanted to be able to play, and I didn't have my Guitar Hero guitar that plugs in with USB. I didn't have that, so what I did have, I have this adapter. Now, I don't know if you guys remember, but there was a Kickstarter a while back, and it was basically a guitar pick with a 30-pin connector for the iPhone, so I could plug this into my iPhone device and actually get real-time accelerometer data from the pick, just like as if it was another iPhone. So if you don't know, I'll show you a picture of this, but there's like an XYZ coordinate system for where the accelerometer is based on how you hold your phone and how you turn it or whatever. And the pick is basically another one of those. And there's actually an SDK that came with it, so you can access that data if you're a developer. So this is kind of what got me going on making my own controller for it. So basically what I needed for this is a way to send data from my Mac, or from my iPhone to my Mac, so that I could use it in the game. Now, there are a few ways I could have done this, but the way I chose, because I needed really instantaneous data to be sent like right away. You don't want any delay in Guitar Hero, or else you're pretty much screwed, and if it's off by even like half a second, like the whole thing just doesn't feel right. So an instantaneous way to do it, or a way to send data, and what I use for that is WebSockets. Now WebSockets are basically a direct connection between or can be a direct connection between your Mac and your iPhone. So it's a two-way channel. You can send data either way. There's no like requests. So if you've heard of HTTP requests, you send a request, then you get data back, you get a response from the server. There's none of that. You can just send data whenever you want, receive data whenever you want, instantaneous. Well, of course it's not instantaneous, but it's pretty much instantaneous. You can't notice the difference. Now, in order to connect the devices, I wanted to make it really easy. So what I used was Bonjour. I don't know if you really are familiar with that, but it's basically a kind of discoverability type thing for Macs and iPods, and you can use it on Windows too if you have the right installation for it. But it basically allowed me to find other devices really easily, so I could put out a certain channel that I was searching for. So the Mac puts out the channel, publishes the channel, and the iPhone searches for that channel. So once they find each other, they connect right away. Because I'm at a university, their Wi-Fi network is comprised of hundreds and hundreds of routers, and that can distort how the WebSockets work, how I have it set up, because the computer can connect to one router and then the iPhone can connect to another router, and even though they're on the same Wi-Fi network, it doesn't work the same, and that causes other complications. So basically the solution for that is going into your Mac and into the Wi-Fi settings, and there's a way to create a network. So you can put out your own network, other devices can connect to it, and then you have kind of the same type of thing without the hassle of having to deal with multiple routers or whatnot. So I'm just going to show you the app real quick. This is what it looks like when you first start up. Now, just know, I put this together in 2 days, and there's no thought put into any of the interfaces or any of the way it looks like. It was basically hacked together really quickly. So now I'm going to show you, I'm going to start up the Mac app and just watch the iPhone screen. So when I started up, you saw that it turned. I actually got a notification here, which I also added in. So it basically turned into a fun gay pride parade, but this is actually the keys for Rock Band, the controls you use. Now I'm just going to show you real quick what happens when I click one of the buttons. So this is basically just a text box, and when I press one of the buttons, you can see the green one corresponds to the letter C, and the red one is L, this one is, the yellow is M, and the blue is Z. Now this is also, the only thing this is doing is it's sending over the WebSocket a number. Now that number is then converted into a letter using, basically the Mac has a specific number for every single key on your keyboard. Now all I'm doing is sending one of those numbers over, and I'm also sending whether it's a press down event or a touch up event. So basically what I'm sending over is when I'm using the touches began method. So when the touches began, when my finger corresponds to this spot on the screen, to the top square, the touches began method will send off the corresponding number for the C key, and it'll then tell it to touch down. So on the keyboard, it's as if I press down on the C key. And now when I let go, I have the touches ended method that also detects that, and it's as if I let go of the C key. So that's all that's doing. So it's actually 2 events per button. So the touch down and then the touch up. Each one sends an event that registers in the Mac, and then it prints out. It'll only print out, you'll notice when I do the touch down, nothing happens when I do the touch up, but you'll see in the Rock Band app how something happens and how it lifts it up just like it's supposed to. And then another thing I did, which was pretty cool, when I actually plug this in, and then when I shake this, hold on. Sometimes it takes a second to register. And here we go. So now when I shake this, it actually prints out a B in this case. Now the letter doesn't really matter because you'll see in the Rock Band app you can actually set the corresponding letter. So I'm just going to show you that real quick actually. It's a pretty cool thing. If I go into the Rock Band game, I'll show you guys how to download this by the way, so you won't have to deal with getting the right mods or whatever. And I'm just going to show you, I can actually go into the settings, go into the key settings, player 1 keys, pick a key. So for the, remember I did the secondary pick was B. Now if I can't really show it, but if I shake it, then you can see it, whatever. It's easier to show with the fret keys. So for the 1, I'm going to assign it to the green, and if you remember that was C earlier in the video. 2, I'm just going to do the second one, which is L, and actually it's also the, corresponds to the back key. So you can actually, if you know on real guitar here, you can use this as the select key and this as the back key, so I can go back, and then I can go forward, forward, or back, and I can go all the way back. So that's how you can set the keys in the game, and it's really easy. And I actually have a demo. I filmed this earlier. Now the thing you need to know about the demo is I only have 1 camera. The other, I have 1 iPhone that I was filming with, and then I was actually using this for doing the movements and everything. So it's actually 2 separate recordings of the same song. So it will be a little bit off sync, but I'll show you just a few parts of it just so you can get the basic idea of how it works.